呪術廻戦
Okay, let's read chapter 201 of Jujutsu Kaisen, Chokusetsu Kaidan Part 2. Direct Conversation Part 2. We're in some sort of strange flashback in which Geto was talking with some heads of state, maybe the president, Secretary of Energy. They were talking about using Japanese civilians as like energy sources. Watch the previous session. It's going to be a lot of talking. The last session took us an hour. We'll do our best to plow through this. So let's go. 日本国民の拉致しろというのか、この私の権限で which is kind of how the previous chapter had ended. This was the president or whomever saying Arachi is like taking captive. So Japanese civilians, the thing called taking captive Japanese civilians with my authority, like this is what you're telling me you want to do. You want to take captive Japanese civilians using my authority? 一国といかずとも、人一人が生涯消費するエネルギーを人一人から捻出できるようになんかもしれない。Okay, so again, we saw, seems to be a little bit of recap of some of the dialogue at the end of the previous chapter. So we saw Ikazu. I think we saw that. Didn't we see that? Toikazu? No. Okay. Anyway, one country with like one person, entire life of expenditures doing energy from one person. Nenshutsu dekiru yo. So nenshutsu there is our new word. Nenshutsu is contriving or working out a solution. Okay. In the manner of being able to work out a solution from one person, probably. So what he's saying is like, you could probably work out a solution. You might be able to work out a solution from just one person to get energy to do the expenditures of an entire life of like a country. So again, they're talking about using the cursed energy of sorcerers as like an energy source, kind of a la Matrix, I guess. Ikoku to ikazu. Let me, I guess, toikazu domo. Okay, I don't remember how we handled that. Ikazu domo. But I think the meaning generally holds. Energy no shikyu jisoku. It is the energy's self-sufficiency in a way. GQ, yeah, GQ jizoku, self-sufficiency. The self-sufficiency of energy. Jitsugen sureba ittai ikutsu no mondai ga kaiketsu suru to? Like present reality if due. If you consider the present reality, however the hell much of a problem, I guess like will do solving. So basically, can you imagine how many problems this would solve in the present age? So kaiketsu is to resolve or no, ketsu. Yeah, to resolve or settle a problem, however the hell many, and then like with the present, if you do the present considerations. So jitsu, again, implementation. Okay, so yeah, if you do implementation of this idea, then like, again, like, do you have any idea how many problems that would solve? Jujutsu shi to wareware no chigai wa no desu. sorcerers and we, as for the differences, it's the brain. So the difference between us and sorcerers, it's the brain. And ware ware here, which means us. So this is them talking, non-sorcerers. That's what the kanji are. So we get Jujutsu sorcerers and the Hijutsu, which is the non-sorcerers. So sorcerers and non-sorcerers, as for the differences, it's the brain. And so we're seeing a brain scan here, I guess. 現代の科学と医療技術をもってしても謎の多いの。Okay, so the present age's science and medical treatment techniques, even if you take those, the puzzles of many brain. So the brain is still like has a lot of puzzles, even if you consider science today and medical treatment. Nazo no oi, many puzzles in the brain, meaning like many mysteries. 研究するには多くのサンプルが必要です。As for to doing experimentation, many samples are necessary. So I guess like in order to do like the right experiments, we need a lot of samples. ただの拉致ではなく a simple abduction or absconding, it isn't. It's not just simply like abducting or kidnapping, I guess. 人体実験を視野に入れた拉致ということか? It's the event called abduction, putting into Shia. Shiani? What is Shia? Field of vision. Okay. Shiani ireru. Of like human body experimentation. Okay, I guess like, so this person is saying like, so it's not just abduction you're talking about, it's abduction and also putting into the field of vision human experimentation, question mark? That's what you're talking about? Cyrus. 君は何を言ってるか分かってるのか? As for you, what saying, question mark, understanding? So Cyrus, do you understand what you're saying? So this is like Cyrus, right? This is like the energy secretary of energy. This is the president or something like that. I can't remember. 代替エネルギーで中国やロシアに遅れを取るわけにはいかない. Okay, so generally, through energy or with energy, China and Russia being late, taking reason as for that, cannot go. So basically, we cannot allow a reason for falling behind, taking lateness to China and Russia when it comes to energy. Tai. Okay. And this is not general. That's a different daitai. This is daitai meaning like substitution or alternation. So with through alternate energy or through in the area of alternative energy, we cannot take lateness. We cannot fall behind Russia and China. Yeah, no. この2国だけで済むはずがない. So no, as for just those two countries, a finishing ought to be not existing. So he's basically saying like, and it's not just those two countries that this applies to. すでにあるエネルギー利権を守るため、サウジアラビアをはじめとした中東諸国. Okay, so already too late. Energy rights in order to protect Saudi Arabia, having started, I guess this is like a Middle East shokoku, which would be the Middle East countries. Chu to shokoku. Yeah, it's a generic term for literally Middle East, and then like countries. So talking about like the countries around Saudi Arabia, the oil magnates. Yeah, so already too late. For the purpose of protecting their energy rights, it's like the Middle East countries have started to do something with Saudi Arabia. 脱原発を推し進めているドイツ. So the Deutsche here is Germany. 脱原発. Datsu. That's to escape or to abandon. Why is this a term? Why is this a term? Datsu Genpatsu is abandoning nuclear power generation. So Genpatsu is nuclear power generation. Datsu would mean escaping or abandoning. Oshi tsutsumete doitsu. Oshi susu. To press forward. Yeah, okay. So, and Germany is pressing forward with abandoning nuclear power generation. 軍事力の高い Indo, and India with the high amount of military strength. France, Kankoku, Korea, and Toruko, which I guess is Turkey. Toruko. Okay, so he said, right, it's not just Russia and China. There's other countries, and he's listing off all the other countries. Are you enthralled? Are you enthralled with the political intrigue that's driving all this? Indo ga ugokeba, Pakistan mo ugoku desho. Okay, so India, if India makes a move, then Pakistan also will move, right? Yes. Wakarimasu ka? Do you understand? So again, this is the Undersecretary of Energy who's the one kind of driving this idea. So he's trying to make this argument. Do you understand? これは映る問題なんです. Yeah, exactly. It's pretty good at mimicking what's going on here. Utsuru. To be infected, to be contagious. これは映る問題なんです. So as for this, it's an infectious problem, meaning it's contagious. Like something's going to happen and then others are going to respond. Hey, have a good one, Goshi. 可能性を上げ出したら、キリがない国々のうち. The possibilities if something キリがない国々のうち. Okay, what is キリがない? キリがない is endless. Okay, so kiri meaning like to be like cut with an end, but not existing. So endless. Endless group of countries. Agedasu. Wait, Agedashi. What does Agadastara here? So I guess like it's an endless number of countries that of like maybe acting up is possible. Ikoko demo ugokeba. Even one country if even one country makes a move, okure o toru mae to oku no kuniguni ga ugokidasu. To not take lateness, many countries will begin to move. So again, he's talking more about this chain reaction, the infectiousness of it, which is there's so many possibilities for a limitless number of things to happen that even if one country makes a move, many other countries, in order not to be behind, will start to move. Yagate Jujutsu shi toyu gente o koe. Yagate, like at least? No, before long. Finally, in the end, before long. The limit, exceeding the limit called sorcerers. So, like in the end, exceeding the limit, the boundary called sorcerers. Zen sekai o ageta nihonjin gari ga hajimarimasu. And like the entire world, well, it will begin the hunting of Japanese people hunting will begin, I guess, like something about the entire world. Why ageta? Zen sekai o ageta. Why ageru? So Japanese people hunting that is raised up for the entire world will begin. I guess maybe like the hunting of Japanese people will be lifted up for the entire world, and that will begin. Anyway, he's, again, connecting all the dots, worst, horrible scenario, and how the Japanese people are going to be hunted, targeted for their energy source. これは拉致ではありません。保護です。As for this thing, abduction it is not, it is protection. So this is a classic argument, right? We're not abducting people, we're protecting them. Kono jouhou o dokusen shi. Doing what? Isolation? Doing isolation of this information? Dokusen? Yeah, monopolization. So monopolizing this information. Takoku ga kainyu suru mae ni wareware no te de nihon no jujutsu shi o hogo suru no desu. Other countries, before doing like assimilation, kainyu, intervention, through our hand, Japanese sorcerers protection doing. So we will do protection of Japanese sorcerers through our own hand, through our own actions, before other countries can intervene. If we do monopolization of this information. Now remember, Geto is inciting all this. There he is. So desu ne. That's right, Watashi mo sore ga jindou teki ga ka to omoimasu. I also, that thing, meaning all that stuff he just said, I think it is jindou teki. That's like the human way. Oh, human. Yeah, humane. So like, I also think that's humane. Jindou teki ka? It's humane, I'm thinking. Okay. So we get some conferring going on here. この男は今、我々とシークレットな交渉を進めていますが。Okay, as for this man, presumably him, right now, with us, and now we get the hint, right? The with us is Beikoku, which is America. With us, a secret negotiations proceeding. So right now, this guy is doing secret negotiations with us, meaning these things. Kosho, again, is just like business transactions or negotiations, consulting, consulting, concerting, コンサルティングの製品によっては、他国と組むことは大いにより得ます。Consulting. Oh, consulting. As for concerning seihi, success or failure of consulting. So depending on the success or failure of the consulting, as for the event of joining with other countries, I guess like there's a big possibility. In other words, depending on the success or failure of this consulting, this discussion, there's a high probability, a big possibility that he'll join up with other countries. And we get mo kundemasu, already joining up, already linked. And so this is Geto, I guess, just thinking that. So again, kumu here is to forming an alliance to link up. So he said, like, I'm already doing that. Jujutsu shi wa honrai minority na sonzai desu. As for sorceries, like at the moment, it's a minority existence. Or no, I guess essentially primarily by nature. Sorcerers primarily by nature are a minority existence. Now remember, Geto wants to turn the world into all sorcerers. So he's got his own agenda here, which he is of course not telling. そんな術師が11月には特定の場所にかなりの人数が集まる。Those sorts of sorcerers, as for in November, in special places, specially designated places, I guess like suddenly numbers will gather. Isn't that what kanari means? Or is that without fail? Considerable. So I guess like considerable numbers will gather in designated places in November of those sorcerers. こんなチャンスは二度とないですよ. As for this sort of a chance, a second time not existing. So you won't have another chance like this again. 日本人街の警戒を強化しろ. Okay. So like Japanese towns 警戒をkyokashiro. So do strengthening of security of the Japanese towns, the Japanese areas, like neighborhoods. Keikai. Yeah, vigilance or precaution. So do strengthening, do fortification of that. Daitouryo, president. Waga kuni ni mo Nikkei jin wa iru. Okay, so we, as for in the country, Nikkei jin wa iru. I guess this is like Japanese descended people. Yeah, non-Japanese of Japanese descent, Nikkei jin. So again, if this is an American, then he's saying like basically in our country also, there are like non-Japanese people of Japanese descent. Nikkei jin. Kono otoko. This man, most likely Geto, this man, Suguru Geto no kousho ga tanin no oyonda bai, hyōteki ni nari kanen. せめて自国の民は守らなければ. Okay, so this man, Suguru Getoro, his negotiations, his discussions to other countries, in the case of like that also happening, I guess like Nari Kanen. Ooh, like becoming targets? Becoming a target. Nari Kanen? That I'm not quite sure about. Nari Kanen. Something about becoming a target, like an objective. In the case of joining with other countries, the discussions of this man. At least as for the citizens of our own country, must protect. Gyari. Gyari Chujo. So this is like Chujo. It's some sort of general. A lieutenant general. It's like a 3-star. Lieutenant General Gary. Kimi kara mite kono sakusen. So from you, look, this strategy, this tactic. Dore dake no jin'i no sakubeki da to mo. Dore dake, like how many people do you think there ought to be for this tactic? Yeah, to what extent of personnel? Saku. That's not the normal reading for that. Saku. This is normally waru to like split, but it's using saku meaning to like plan. Oh no, there it is, saku. To cut up, to spare. Yeah, like you're thinking, what do you think you ought to split, to dedicate the personnel, like how much for this plan? Okay, that makes sense. So this must be Lieutenant General Gary. それは呪術師と呼ばれるの日本人の拉致作戦を我が軍で実行するということですかな? So as for that thing, meaning like the tactic or what you're talking about, sorcerers being called Japanese people's abduction battle strategy, we with the army, Jiko, executing that sort of event, I guess. So the general here is clarifying. So he's like, so I guess you're talking about the event called putting into execution using our army, this abduction battle strategy of Japanese people that are called sorcerers. And we get the introduction for this guy, Togo Tokushu Sakusen Commando. Okay, so this is like the special operation or special war command. This is JSOC, right? So this is like the special operations command. Togo. Integrated. So like joint. The Joint Special War Command. Again, J-So-Shi. That is not how you pronounce this. Okay, this is a good example of like lost in translation. So they're saying the pronunciation for this is J-S-O-Shi. So like J-S-O-C. But that's not how you pronounce this. You say JSOC. Anyway, whatever. Shirei-kan, that's commander, Shirei-kan. Rikugun Chujo, Army Lieutenant General Gary K. Johnson. So Gary K. Johnson. Very American name. Johnson. Ah. 言われせないでくれ、chujo. So he's like, oh, do the favor of like not saying, like, don't say it that way, Lieutenant General. Ah. Ware nagara nanto ozomashi. So, oh, while it's us, somehow it's ozomashi. Ware nagara? Oh, okay. Ware nagara. Even if I say so, or even for me, it's ozomashi. It's disgusting, repulsive. Okay, right. So again, the general here is being very blunt about like what he's asking to do, and he was very straightforward. And the guy's like, "Oh no, come on, that sounds disgusting. Don't put it that way." Shitsure, rudeness, meaning like I'm sorry or like apologies. Shikashi, watashi wa shokugyo gunjin desu. However, as for me, I am a I guess like this is like army military person. Shokugyo, I guess, is just like employed military person. Yeah. Like my occupation is military business or whatever. A career soldier. Yeah, like I'm a career soldier. Meirei wa meikaku ni onegaimasu. As for orders, towards clarity, please. So basically, like I'm a career military person. I need clear orders. Okay, yeah, this is a little bit too real. Mita tokoro hakuhatsu no otoko. Mita tokoro hakuhatsu no otoko. So the white-haired man, mita tokoro. Oh, judging from appearances, the white-haired man. Oh, they're talking about Gojo. あれは呪術師の中でもイレギュラーと見てよろしいかな? As for that thing, meaning the white-haired guy, Gojo, as for that thing, or that guy, even among sorcerers, viewing it as an irregularity is good, right? So basically, like he's irregular even among sorcerers, right? I guess. Okay. Otsusha? Otsusharu? No. Otsusharu tori kare wa ijou da. Okay, so yes. Otsusharu. No, that's osharu. Yeah, okay, osharu tori. So like according to what you say, I agree with you. It's as you say, as for him, he's irregular. He's abnormal. だが、11月には封印されて動けない状態になる. However, as for in November, sealing being done, not able to move condition will become. So already Gojo, or Geto here, had the plans to put Gojo in the state of being not able to move and being sealed by November. だとすれば、一個中隊もあれば足りるでしょうな. So if that's the case, then like one middle unit, even if it exists, sufficient probably, I guess. So he's basically saying even one medium-sized unit. Chutai? A company. A company, if that exists, that should be sufficient. Okay? Geto's blank stare response. All right, where are we? We're page 40. Or I'm sorry, we're at almost 40 minutes. Yokotakichi kara no anshutsu plan de susumeshou. Yokota Kichi kara. So from Yokota base, with the Hanshutsu plan, let's proceed. Hanshutsu. Carrying out. Okay, so with the carrying out of the plans from Yokota base, let's proceed with that. Cyrus. Jujutsu shi wa Godasu? Godasu mo areba manzoku kana. As for sorcerers, even 5 dasu, if exist, is that sufficient? Is that enough? Dasu? No, dasu. Dozen. Okay, as for sorcerers, even if there's 5 dozen, if they exist, is that sufficient, I guess? Yes. Jubun da. It's sufficient. That's plenty. Espa ka nanika shiranai ga, shosen wa kunren o tsunde nai shirouto da. Okay, shirouto is like, yeah, novice, amateurs. Okay, are they espers, which I guess is a term for like ESP people, right, or psychics? Are they psychics or something? I don't know. But as for shosen, after all, if don't pile up practice, amateurs. They're amateurs that don't have any practice. Oh, I got it. Waga gun no tekide wa arimasen yo. We, as for with the waga gun no tekide wa arimasen yo. Yeah, like we are an army without enemies. Meaning like what he's saying is, like, I don't know if these guys, he's talking about the sorcerers, if they're espers or whatever, they're psychics, but they're novices, amateurs that don't have any training or experience. So, you know, we're an army without enemy. In other words, they're not going to be any match for us. So he has no idea. Okay. Masuru and buretto. Okay. You can see what that says. And for the Japanese reader, this gets translated into Japanese, which is kinniku, muscle, to dangan, bullets. What was that? Okay. Sorera ni masaru mono wa nai. Oh. It's the general. The general is saying this, like, muscle and bullets. Muscle and bullets. As for to those things, sorera ni, as for winning things, they don't exist. So like nothing can beat muscle and bullets. Man, hold on. Where are we? Oh, there's still so many more pages of text. All right. Omune? Omune? In general, roughly. Omune doi dane. So in general, it's the same idea. It's agreement. So I generally agree, you know? Jutsu shidoshi no tatakai demo, even in the battle or a fight of comrade sorcerers or technique users, saigo ni shouhai o wakeru no wa nikutai no kyodo da. In the end, in the final moments, as for the thing that separates victory and defeat, it is the strength density of muscle or power, flesh bodies, the strength of the flesh body. So Geto is being a little bit disingenuous here by saying like, hey, I agree, right? Even amongst sorcerers, the thing that separates victory and defeat in the end is the strength of the physical body. Datte sa, ne, like right, daga. However, this is Geto saying, however, saite demo 800人, even at the lowest, 100 people or 800 people, 大体規模の人員を投入してもらう will receive doing the 投入 insertion? Oh, investment. Throwing into the insertion, the investment of personnel of a big group, 大体規模. A battalion, and kibo is scope or scale. Yeah. So basically, we'll receive doing the investment or insertion of people of the scope of a battalion at the lowest 800 people. So that's what Geto is saying. 噂通り日本人はネガティブでシャイだな. Okay, so he laughs and says, like, according to rumor, or like, yes, just like the rumors, as for Japanese people, they are negative and shy, aren't they? Shinpai say, like warriors, Shinpai sho, prone to worrying. So that's what this is. It gets katakana with negatibu, so negative. And then again, we get shy, which is like, what is that? Sho shinsha, which is again like small kokoro people, shy. Sho shinsha. Yeah, timid, cowardly. Okay. 小さい頃、ママに銃を買ってもらえなかったせいかな. Small times, like when they were little, by mother, the fault of not being able to receive buying of guns, I guess. In other words, like, is it because your mama didn't let you buy guns when you were small? So they're laughing. That's like stifled laughter. では、試してみましょう. Well then, let's try a test. Let's try an experiment. そうだね. It is that way, you know? So like, that's right, you know? せっかく術師が2人もいるんだ. At great pains or whatever, sorcerers, 2 people even existing. So we've got 2 sorcerers here. 大統領との直接交渉. Direct discussions with the president. 配備されているのは部屋の外の15人. And I guess as for preparations being done, or as for Seibi, sorry, Haibi. Oh, as for the ones being deployed, 15 people outside the room. だけじゃないんだろ? It's not just that, right? Just that it isn't, right? Oh, he's saying, as for the people being deployed for the direct discussions with the president. It's 15 people outside the room, and it's not just that, right? Okay, so they are at the White House. Shitsumu no soto ni wa secret service no saisei CAT counter assault assault team, counter assault team, a cat team. Okay. So shitsumu no soto ni wa. As for on the outside of the shitsu of the like official duty room, the Secret Service saisei like most elite counter assault team 15名人が防弾プレートとライフルで武装してます。So again, 15 personnel, protective bullet plates, and with rifles are like equipped. Okay, so that's there. 15 people. 彼の言った通り, according to what they said, or like it's how they said it, それだけではありません. Just that it isn't. So it's not just that. So it's not just that according to what they said. CIA. 中央情報局の準軍事組織. The CIA, again, this is like Central Intelligence Agency, which is literally what that means, CIA. 準軍事組織. The I guess like preparatory military affairs organization. We'll just go with that. Oh, actually, hold on. I'm on the wrong thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're just going to go with that. And then we've got the SAC, the Tokubetsu Kodo Senta. So the special, I guess, like action center. Okay. 世界一の国費任務部隊です. The world's number one's ultimate secret duty units. Okay. 全員が8年以上の軍務経験と特殊作戦の勤務経験があります. All personnel more than 8 years of military duty experience and special operations of duty experience exist. 私が説明したかった. And this guy is thinking like, I'm the one that wanted to explain. DNI. Oh, so this is like the director of national intelligence, DNI. Chokan. Yeah, this is the head of director of whatever. Okay. SAC 3チーム30名. So SAC 3 teams, 30 people. シークレットサービスと合わせて45名の凄腕が優るゲトの行動を創始します. Okay, so the Secret Service and combined with the Secret Service, the 30 people of the SAC, that's 45 people of like great skill. 凄腕. Go-getters, wizards, virtuosos, masters. Again, like incredible skill. Will do the soshi of like operating of Geto. Soshi. Soshi, to like stop. Doing obstruction of the operation of Geto. So like all those people can stop, put a stop to Geto. We're almost there, I think. We're almost there. そんな中、彼はウェストウィング大統領執務室からここイーストウィングオフィスまでたどり着かねばならない。Okay, so, and I guess like, and amongst all that, Solnanaka, as for him, talking about Geto, West Wing, the president's, from the president's like official duty room, to this place, the East Wing, up until that office, the East Wing office, like not able to, he must struggle. So Tadoritsuku is to like arrive after a long struggle. So what's more, he's got to grapple his way all the way from the East Wing, or from the West Wing to the East Wing. And so here we go, West Wingu and East Wingu. Sorosoro ko kana? So he's yawning. I guess like finally, shall we go, I guess? Tetsudao ka? Shall I help? Shall assist? Hima, free time, like I'm free. Iyo, no, it's fine. Jujutsu shio inshou zukeru no wa watashi no jutsu shiki ga tekinin da. Okay, so as for inshou zukeru, impressing. So as for like doing an impression of sorcerers, or as for making an impression about sorcerers, my technique is tekinin. Is basically like qualified. I'm qualified alone. And he says watashi, that's Geto there. So he's saying I'm good enough alone. Hey, Maislin, have a good one. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for suffering through this super long chapter. We're almost there. すでに非戦闘員は避難済み。重火器の使用を強化してあります。Okay, so already, as for the non-combatants, evacuation finished, and like firearms use permission being done. I've granted like done permission for the use of firearms. 勝手に, like randomly, of one's own will, freely. 私と妻が住んでいるのに? This is the president saying, like, what? What do you, like, seriously? Because me and my wife, like, even though we live here, this is the White House. Okay. 大統領はもう彼らの顔を見ずに済みますよ. As for the president, no longer their faces without seeing will finish. I guess like it'll finish, but you'll never have to see their faces again. 日本人はおとなしく車とアメリカを作っていればいいのです. As for Japanese people, calmly, docilely, cars and anime, if making, that's good. So Japanese people, it would be good if they just made cars and anime, like good people. おとなしく. あんまりそういうことを言わないで. Very much those sorts of things don't say. Like, don't say stuff like that. しかし、 ギャリー中将ここまでする必要があったかね? All right, but, however, Lieutenant General Gary, like doing up until this point, was it necessary? So was it really necessary to go up into this point? もう少し手心というか? A little bit more. It's the thing called tegokuro. Discretion? Like maybe you should have been a little bit more discreet? No. Which is no. Daitorio, no, Mr. President. 我々の常に欲するのは勝利ではない。圧勝。Okay, we continually ask for like what wanting? 欲するのは? Yeah. So like as for the thing that we are always wanting or always desiring, it's not shori. It's not victory. It's asho, which is like overwhelming victory. So shori again is sort of like victory, triumph. So the thing that we want always is not victory, it's asho. And atsu there is like pressure. Which again is this idea of like overwhelming, complete victory. And we get a nice muscled clenched fist. それがアメリカです. That is America. Gotcha. Thud. No. What? Bang. 何があった? What happened? Huh? So he's opening the door, looks outside. Finally, we get some action. All of the soldiers are floating in the air. Dosa, 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 dosa. That's kind of like thud, 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 thud. Okay, so Geto summoned whatever that thing is. No, naniga. What? I guess he's got the glasses on. Ja-da-da-da-da-da. That's the clattering of all the dog tags of the people that he took out, I guess. Owakari itarakemashita ka? Hey, Sam. Yeah, whatever that is and did. Owakari itarakemashita ka? Received understanding? Like, have I received understanding? Like, do you get it now? Dewa, hanashi o tsumemashou. Well then, like, let's join in conversation. Jujutsu shi gari desu. About hunting sorcerers. Okay, and so finally we're headed back to this. Hanashi o tsume. Yeah, that's not going to be like a specific thing. Tsumete. Tsumeru. Maybe like let's focus on the story. Let's focus on the issue, which is hunting sorcerers. Okay, that's the end of the chapter. Finally, that's the end of the chapter. So presumably that's the end of the flashback. That was, I guess, to give us some insight as to what's some of the stuff that's going on in the background here. With the whole game and everything. So there's part 2 of a bunch of stuff. If you want to read that, there you go. Don't care. Otherwise, that's it. That was 201. Those were 2 very painful chapters, each about an hour long to get through. We'll continue next time here with 202, starting a new topic. We'll see if it's going to be painfully dialogue heavy next time. 202.